The oracle, he says, the most obvious question is, how can I trust you? And so she comes back then and says, bingo. It is a riddle. No doubt about it. The bad news is there is no way that you can really know if I am here to help you or not. So it's really up to you. Just have to make up your own damn mind to either accept what I'm going to tell you or reject it. What's the oracle saying? I'm not going to tell you what to do. Isn't she giving Neo total control over his relationship with his meeting with the oracle? But he came there presuming, since she's a part of the system, that she's there to throw some kind of control on him. And she goes, no, I'm not going to tell you whether to believe me or not. That's up to you. Have at it. Then she looks at her purse and she takes her hand out and says, candy? Wait a minute. If you don't trust the oracle, why would you be taking candy from the oracle and eating it? She might be feeding you poison. What's the difference between feeding you a physical food of poison or feeding you a mental diet of lies and mistrust? Neo looks at her and is trying to stay ahead of her. And he said, do you already know if I'm going to take the candy from you? The oracle responds and says, I wouldn't be much of an oracle if I didn't. See, Neo is trying to extract something from her that he can use as commercial consideration in order to see if there's going to be any substance of truth here or what's going on. He's looking for a commercial interchange between him and the oracle. Is there anything commercial going on between him and the oracle? No. She says, would you like candy? She didn't say, do you want to purchase any candy from me? She didn't say, have you brought me any consideration in exchange for the knowledge and wisdom you seek from me? You see, even though the oracle has admitted to the facts that she's not human, she's a program running in the system, that she's part of the system, that she's part of the control. Bingo, you've hit it. And that therefore Neo might have some form of resistance to whether or not the oracle is going to be his friend and be of any value. He is looking to the oracle to display some commercial characteristics, which he believes are a function of the matrix. And she's not doing that. And it's taken him off balance. Neo comes back and says, but if you already know whether or not I'm going to take the candy from you, how can I make a choice? What's Neo mostly concerned about? Freedom. And what is freedom to Neo? The ability to control being able to make his own choice. Keep that in mind, because that's probably what motivates most patriots. It's what motivates 99% of the people that are in the matrix. The concept that they need to be able to have control over their choice. What is it that the matrix, i.e. the one world government, is always pushing on the people? The concept that you have the ability to make a choice. What is the whole program behind women's lib, which is really women's destruction? Free choice. What is the concept behind liberating Afghanistan, Iraq, half of Eastern Europe, and your beloved nation? The ability to make a free choice in a political election. Everybody that is flat in the matrix, as you're going to see, as idiot slaves, never see themselves as slaves because they've been told they have choice. And they control choice. As you will see when we get to our discussion with Moravian, choice is an illusion. It is not reality. And so what is it that Neo is inquiring of the oracle? If you already know whether I'm going to take the candy or not, how can I make a choice? The oracle says, because you didn't come here to make the choice, you already made it. You're only here to understand why you made the choice. The oracle says, I thought you would have figured that out by now, Neo. It's not about choices. It's about why you make the choices you make. That's what it's all about. If you're looking at freedom and liberty, you've got to ask the question why, not what. Neo says to the oracle, if it's about why, then why are you here? Get the picture. Is Neo still satisfied in his mind that this meeting with the oracle is going to go well for him? No, the oracle is part of the system. It's part of control. The oracle is my enemy. What I want to know is, why are you here now that you brought up why? Are you trying to do me in? The oracle smiles, looks back at him and says, the same reason as you. I love candy. The Neo is not going to be put down, he said. Why help us? Who's the us? The Zionists. Who are the Zionists? The ones that have broken free of the matrix. Why are you, a program in the matrix and a controller, helping us? Good question. The oracle. We're all here to do what we're all here to do. I'm interested in one thing, Neo. The future. And believe me, I know the only way to get there is together. How do you think the so-called group of patriots found out about the redemption program? Do you think an oracle in the Matrix told someone about that concept? Or do you think some bright lunatic seeking liberty and freedom and free choice just one day thunk up the concept of redemption and said, yep, that's it. They've been concealing it from us for a long time. Question. Neo will bring that up in a while. Can the Matrix live without humans? No, the machines need the humans. It goes much deeper than the concept of the Matrix with the slave humans versus Zion with the free humans. What the oracle is telling Neo here is one of the most fundamental concepts that we have to understand. The Matrix is not opposed necessarily to the Zionists. The Zionists are needed by the Matrix as much as for a period of time the Matrix is needed by the Zionists. The concept that the oracle said, why are you helping us, is very interesting. The answer is because the keepers of the Matrix are interested in the future. And if we don't all go there together, none of us are going to make it separate and apart. In the Scripture, there is a parable in the New Testament that says that the wheat and the tares are going to be growing in the same field. And if you burn the tares, you're going to destroy the wheat. And if you burn the wheat, you're going to destroy the tares. So for a period of time, the issue that interests the leader of the tares and the leaders of the wheat are that the future mandates that we get there together. And if you're trying to destroy the other side, none of us will make it there at all. And believe me, I know the only way to get there is together, the oracle says. Neo, are there other programs like you? Is there anyone else in the Matrix that thinks the same thing? The oracle, well, not like me, but look, see those birds? At some point, a program was written to govern them. A program was written to watch over the trees, the wind, the sunrise, and the sunset. There are programs running all over the place. Ones doing their job, doing what they were meant to do. Those programs are invisible. You never even knew they were here. But the other ones, well, you hear about them all the time. Neo, I've never heard of them. The oracle, of course you have. Every time you hear someone say, I've seen a ghost or an angel, every story you've ever heard about vampires, werewolves or aliens in the system is assimilating some program that is doing something that they are not supposed to be doing. Aberrant programs, when it doesn't seem to fit in. Aren't patriots good at spreading all kinds of concepts of aberrant programs? All kinds of aliens, all kinds of premeditated take over the world systems, all kinds of strange people working behind the scenes to destroy things. Neo, he observes that it's programs hacking programs. Why, he asks the Matrix. What is a program hacking another program? A virus. And what would a virus be? A warfare against the system. So what the Oracle is saying is there's an internal war going on in the Matrix in the language of the computer programs. Programs hacking programs, trying to destroy other programs carrying out business in the Matrix. Why would programs be hacking programs? The Oracle. They have their reasons, but usually a program chooses exile when it faces deletion. Neo, why would a program be deleted? The Oracle. Maybe it breaks down. Maybe a better program is created to replace it. It happens all the time. And when it does, a program either can choose to hide here or return to the source. What happens to the patriots that are fighting the government in the world system? Aren't they aberrant programs that have broken down? Aren't they at war? What do they do when they break down? Go into hiding so the government can't find them, so that they won't be deleted, i.e. put in prison or assassinated or whatever, or return to the source, the controllers of the Matrix, jail, prison, whatever. And when it does, the program can either choose to hide here or return to the source. Neo says, the machine mainframe. Isn't that the source of all the programs running? See, Neo ain't that stupid. He was sent to the Oracle for what reason? He said, I got to go there to find out what I'm supposed to do. And when he gets to the Oracle, he's trying to find out what he's supposed to do. What did the Oracle say? You already made your choice. You know what you're going to do. The only reason you came here is to find out why. But he keeps going, no, I haven't. I haven't made those decisions. I don't know what to do. Oracle will answer that question in a minute. The Oracle goes, yes, where the path of the one ends. Okay, Neo is the one. Where does his path end? At the mainframe. Go back to the source. You can put down the matrix by deleting the prime programs at the source, at the mainframe. You can destroy the matrix. Go back to the creditor. You have seen it in your dreams, haven't you, the Oracle says. The door made of light. What happens when you go through that door? Neo, I see Trinity and something happens. Something bad. She starts to fall and then I wake up. Oracle, do you see her die? Neo, no. Oracle, You have the sight now, Neo. You are looking at the world without time. What's time got to do with anything? Time is only relevant in the commercial world of the Matrix. If he is seeing the world without time, what have he just done? He's got a position outside the Matrix. He can see it now in terms of a position which is neutral to just being in the Matrix itself. Neo, then why can't I see what happens? Oracle, listen very carefully. You don't see your future? We cannot see past the choices we do not understand. Why is it that you're not out of the system? You don't understand the choices you must make to be in a position outside the Matrix. Have you made your decisions? Absolutely. Your problem is you do not yet know why. Because you do not understand. And you cannot see beyond those places that you do not understand. Remember, it says that until your mind can see or facilitate a concept or a thought, it cannot come into the real world and be implemented. How can your mind create a thought of that which you wish to do until you understand what your mind ought to think? So it's a catch-22. Neo says, tell me what I must do. The oracle says, you've already made that choice. But then why am I here? I don't understand. And she's going, you can't see past the choices you understand. Your first question is why? Until you answer the question why, you cannot do what? Which has already been done. Neo says, are you saying that I have to choose whether Trinity lives or dies? The movie starts with Neo having a dream about the machines. That's interesting. See, your dreams mostly are not in the real world, so he dreams about what happens basically in the world of the machines. And his dream never has a conclusion because he can't see beyond the point that he always wakes up. And he knows Trinity's in trouble and he doesn't know whether she will live or die. So are you saying that I have to choose whether Trinity lives or dies so I will see in the dream what's going to happen? The oracle says, no, you've already made your choice whether she's going to live and die. Now all you have to do is understand your choice. Neo says, no, I can't do that. I won't. The oracle says, you will have to. Neo says, why? The oracle says, because you are the one. Neo says, what if I can't? What happens if I fail? The oracle says, then Zion will fall. Our time is up, Neo. Listen to me, Neo. You can save Zion if you reach the source. But to do that, you will need the key maker. Neo says, the key maker? The oracle said, yes. He disappeared some time ago. We do not know what happened to him. Now he's being held prisoner by a very dangerous program. one of the oldest of us. He is called the Moravian. He will not let him go willingly. Neo, what does he want? Neo is still thinking in terms of commerce. I gotta give something to get something. Neo is still stuck mentally in the matrix, even though he's been out. What does he want? The oracle. What do all men with power want? More power. Be there at that exact time that I've given you and you will have a chance. Neo, I must go. Oracle, seems like every time we meet, I have nothing but bad news. I'm sorry about that. What kind of news do you get out of the public? Bad news. There's never anything good coming out of the public. They're bankrupt. They can't give you good news. It's not in them. I'm really sorry about that, the oracle says. I surely am. But for what it is worth, you have made a believer out of me. Good luck, kiddo. What has the oracle just told us about redemption? Do we work with the system or against the system? With the system. Because the concept of redemption is built into the matrix. It is not your enemy. Now, it just gets better as the matrix goes on. Now remember, these conversations are the slow part of the movie. That's what the people that have been reviewing the movie tell you are really slowing the film down. And it's just not that great a movie. Yeah, there's a lot of special effects. Yeah, there's more of whatever. But whatever's going on here, it just bogs down. And go see something like X-Men. It's just twice as exciting. We now move ahead. Remember, basically, the oracle told Neo, if you're going to get to the mainframe, the source, you need to go find the keeper of the keys. Remember, in Scripture, there was a lock put on Satan for a period of time, and he was locked up, but later on he was loosed. And the keys were given for a period of time to someone to lock him up, and then the keys were given to loose him. So we have the key keeper in the matrix, which is locked up secrets in the matrix, so that mankind would not be able to see these secrets for a period of time. And now here is the oracle, who is a program controlling the matrix, who tells our hero, Neo, the one, you've made me a believer, and I'm telling you, go get the keeper of the keys who will be able to unlock the secrets and give you knowledge of what's going on in the matrix to help you out. Unless, of course, you want to believe that this is a trap and it's going to harm you, because I work for the matrix. So what they need to do now is they need to find the keeper of the keys. And the only way to get the keeper of the keys is to go find this dangerous program, a gentleman called Moravian, who has a French-speaking accent. And it's very interesting in this film that they introduce a number of characters that basically are dressed in white. Do you recall any of our heroes working for Zion that are dressed in white? Neo's in black. Morpheus is in black. Trinity's in black. Most of the crew is in black. But here is the Oracle in white. And we're going to be introduced to several other characters, including some twin bodyguards for Moravian that have white hair braided in dreadlocks, white outfits, and bleached white skin. And they're some of the nastiest guys in this film. And then we're going to have Moravian's wife, Persephone, also dressed in white. But then we're going to have some other characters that are on the control side of the matrix, like Moravian himself, also dressed in black. There are some interesting things going here. We'll probably talk about them in a minute. Morpheus, Trinity, and Neo arrive at a restaurant in this building within the matrix, and they're going specifically at the designated time to see this, quote, dangerous program, unquote, this man named Moravian, this French-speaking style guy. And as Morpheus, Trinity, and Neo arrive at the Maître D's place at the restaurant, they say, "We are here to see Moravian." The Maître D says, "Of course, he has been expecting you. Follow me." Moravian sees them as they're escorted to his table, and they sit down, and he says, "Aha! Here he is at last, Neo. He is the one himself, and the legendary Morpheus, and of course, Trinity. I have heard so much about yous. You honor me. Please, this is my wife, Persephone. Would you people care for something to eat? Possibly drink? Or have you seen so many contrivances as we have here? Please, for the sake of appearances, sit down and eat and drink with us." Neo goes, "No, thank you." Moravian goes, "Yes, of course." Neo goes, "We don't have time." Excuse me, where is time? In the commercial matrix. You know, this is just a little joke by our writers. We don't have time. Oh, really? Maybe that's why you're not in the matrix. Neo says, "We don't have time." Look at what Moravian says. "Yes, of course. Who has time? But then if we do not ever take time, how can we have time?" When you take time, isn't that a commercial presentment and transaction? Written into the contract for performance, permitting you to charge your brother so that you could take something from him and kill him because he didn't take time seriously. Moravian goes on, "Magnificent French wine. I love the French wine. All of the languages, French is my favorite language, especially to curse. It is like wiping your ass with silk. I love it. You know why we are here? I am a trafficker in information. I know everything I can." Do you get the picture? Moravian is someone who's going low? I don't think so. No, he feels very self-assured about himself and his position. "You know why we are here? I am the trafficker in information. I know everything I can. The question is, do you know why you are here?" Morpheus. "We are looking for the key maker. Moravian. Oh yes, this is true. The keymaker, of course. But this is not a reason. This is not a why. The keymaker himself is an answer by his very nature to a means, and not to an end. And so to be looking for him is to be looking for a means to do. What? Neo says, you know the answer to that question. Moravian. See, but do you? You think you do, but you do not. You are here because you were sent here. You were told to come here and then you obeyed. It is, of course, the way of all things. You see, there is only one constant, one universal. It is the only reality. Causality. Causality is the only reality. Action, reaction, cause and effect. Morpheus. Everything begins with choice. Wait a minute. We already had that conversation with the oracle, didn't we? What did the oracle tell Neo about choice? The choice has already been made. It has nothing to do with choice. What is it about if not choice? Why? So here is Morpheus falling into the trap. Everything begins with choice. Now look at, first time, maybe a mistake. Second time, you're getting a reinforcement, the truth. Who's going to give him the answer? The bad guy. Who gave Neo the answer? A program running in the matrix, the oracle. Moravian says, no, wrong. Choice is an illusion created between those with power and those without power. Choice is predetermined by what? Who's got the power and who hasn't. So when Morpheus says everything begins with choice, choice is an effect. Choice is not a cause. Remember, Moravian already said there's only one reality, causality, cause-effect, action-reaction. He's going to lecture us about this. Pay attention. Patriots are not looking at cause and effect. They're looking to create choice. They think that if they get a choice, they've got freedom. They think that their problem is they weren't given the choice. Therefore, all they want is to be given a choice. A choice is an effect. It is not the cause. Moravian goes, as an example, he goes, look there. Look at that woman at the other table. Beautiful girl having dinner with several people. My God, just look at her. Affecting everyone around her. So obvious, so bourgeois, so quiet. But you see, I have sent her a dessert. And this waiter comes over with this beautiful looking French pastry dessert. A very special dessert. I wrote it, the program for the dessert, myself. It starts so simply. Each line of the program painting a new fate. excuse me, what was the program doing? Giving her a delicious effect, or deceiving her to the wishes of the writer of the program, creating a cause-effect relationship? Is the beautiful woman eating the dessert part of the cause? Or is she merely partaking of the effect that's going to be created by the cause? Does she have any choice? Does she have any knowledge of the cause? Can she change the outcome? No. Very simple example by Moravian. Remember, he is a very dangerous program in the Matrix. Neo, Morpheus, and Trinity are sitting at his table in the Matrix. He's in control. He's very quietly demonstrating his power and his capacity to them. He's demonstrating that they're in way over their head in being able to be in control. Morpheus says everything begins with choice. Morpheus, you made the choice to come here with Neo in Trinity. Was this a mistake? Is it your doom? Can you control these circumstances? I wrote the program myself. It starts so simply. Each line of the program painting a new fate. Just like poetry. Fast, a rush, heat, a heart flutters. You can see it now. Yes, she does not understand why. She's eating this dessert, but now she's having strange feelings. It's like she's losing control. It's like there's something happening from this dessert she's eating that she didn't expect. He goes, you can see it now. Yes, she does not understand why. Is it the wine? No. What is it? What is the reason? Soon it does not matter. Soon the wine and the reason are gone. And all that matters is the feeling itself. This is the nature of the universe. We struggle against it. We fight to keep from dying. Of course, we pretend to be alive. Beneath the poised appearance, the truth is really a complete case out of control. Causality. There is no escape from it. We are forever slaves to it. Our only hope, our only peace, is to understand it, to understand the why. Why is that? Why is what separates us from them. Who are them? The rest of the people in the matrix, the 99%. Moravian said, it is what separates you from me. Why is the only real source of power. Without it, you are powerless. And this is how you come to me. Without the why, without power, another link in the chain. But fear not, since I have seen how good you are at following the orders, I will tell you what to do next. Run back and give the fortune teller this message. Her time is over. Now I have some real business to attend to. Adieu and au revoir. Neo looks at Moravian and says, this isn't over. Excuse me. What is the problem here? Isn't Neo still trying to determine the why? Didn't he go to the oracle and he said, what am I doing here? I got to find out what I'm going to do. And she said, no, you already made the choice. You got to understand the why. And he goes, how am I going to do that? Well, I can't help you. You'll just have to find it out. And then she says, but if you're looking for whatever you're looking for, go see Moravian, a really nasty, mean program, but he's the keeper of